Chapter 3 Modals. Modals are auxiliary, helping verbs that express ability, possibility, permission, or obligation. For example, in the statement, "You must leave," must is a modal verb indicating that it's necessary for the subject "you" to perform the action of the verb leave. The modal verb will is used to form the future tense, indicating an action that has not yet occurred. Example, I will clean the garbage. Common modals and their uses. Must, to have to, or to be highly likely. Must can be used to express 100% certainty, a logical deduction or prohibition depending on the context. For example, it must be hard to work 60 hours a week. Probable. You must listen to the professor during the lecture. Necessity. She must not be late for her appointment. Necessity. Can, to be able to be allowed to, or possible. Can is a very common modal verb in English. It's used to express ability, permission, and possibility. For example, it can be done. Possible. She can sleep over at Sarah's house this weekend. Allowed to. The car can drive cross-country. Able to. It cannot be done. Impossible. Could, to be able to be allowed to, or possible. Could is used when talking about an ability in the past or for a more polite way to ask permission. For example, Vishal could show up to work today. Possible. Could I come with you? Allowed to. Last night, I could not keep my eyes open. Able to. May, to be allowed to. It is possible or probable. For example, may I sit down there? Allowed to. I may have to cancel my plans for Saturday night. Possible or probable. She may not arrive on time due to traffic. Possible. Might, to be allowed to. Possible or probable. Might is used when discussing something that has a slight possibility of happening, or to ask for permission in a more polite way. For example, Amanda might show up to the concert tonight. Possible or probable. Might I borrow your computer? Many people don't say this in American English. Instead, they would say, can I borrow your computer? Or may I borrow your computer? Need, to express necessity or obligation. For example, need I say more? Necessary. You need not visit him today. Not necessary. Should, to ask what is the correct thing to do, to suggest an action, or to be probable. Should usually implies advice, a logical deduction, or a so-so obligation. For example, should I come with her to the dentist? Permission. Amir should know better. Advice or ability. It should be very quick drive to the beach today. Possibility. Had better, to suggest an action or to show necessity. For example, Rohit had better clean up the mess he made. Necessity. Preetham had better get to work on time tomorrow. Necessity. Will, to suggest an action or to be able to. For example, John will go to his second period class tomorrow. Action. It will happen. Action. She will see the difference. Be able to. Preeti will not study tonight because she has to work. Not be able to. Would. To suggest an action, advise, or show possibility in some circumstances. For example, that would be nice. Advice, possibility, action. She would go to the show, but she has too much homework. Action. Mike would like to know what you think about his presentation. Action. Tips for using modals. Choose the modal that best fits the situation or the meaning you want to convey. Formal versus informal. Could, would, and may are often more polite or formal, while can and will are more direct. Practice. The more you use modals in writing and speaking, the more comfortable you'll become with choosing the right one.